If you hold ICP, you probably want to stay around until the end of this video because we have a lot to go over. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. If we take a quick look at the overall price of ICP, it's been ranging for a little bit of time now, and I feel as though it is finding a very solid range. And it's actually a range that I told you guys about in my previous ICP videos before the whole market actually crashed. Here we have ICP right now. There's two scenarios. If we have a complete nuke of the market going forward, which I'm not expecting us to, but just in case, there's two areas of major levels that I'm watching for. Number one, we already got our gap filled here, which is like right around the low that we just ran, around $5.82. This was a major buy opportunity. We are now back into this range that I was expecting this to actually retest when we were trading at about roughly like $9 or something like that. And this is where I would like for us to start to kind of chop sideways, build out a floor on ICP, and then continue higher. Now, there is a possibility that we have a major sell-off on Bitcoin still. Again, I'm just giving you guys possibilities. I'm not expecting this, but if we did, then I'm expecting us to run this next gap here at around roughly $4.60. If we do get that level, that is a massive area where an opportunity will present you with a ton of upside potential, in my opinion, on ICP. But outside of this, I strongly encourage everyone to join the free Discord. There's going to be a link at the top of the description below. This is one of the most valuable and informative Discords out there, and it's completely free. There's a free side that has a ton of free crypto gems, free market strategies, guides, market trends, free charts, and there's also going to be new cheat sheets dropped in this Discord. And already, we have a ton of testimonials from members of the Discord that have been absolutely loving it. So what are you waiting for? Go and click the link at the top of the description below and join the free Discord. Let's talk about the roadmap. So in my previous ICP videos, I did talk to you guys about the roadmap. I talked to you guys about how fast this is really kind of getting cleared out. They're absolutely killing it. They keep pushing major updates. We have a few things that are actually due going forward into next month. And I do think that this is one of the most substantial roadmaps in this space. But we also got a big post by DCENT on May 16th regarding the roadmap. Now, this is key development areas with pivotal milestones to move closer to the world computer vision. Now, there's a lot in here to really kind of read over, so I went and summarized it actually with ChatGPT, and we can actually see that since its launch on May 10th, 2021, the ICP has undergone numerous upgrades, processed billions of blocks, and integrated with Bitcoin and Ethereum. It has pioneered running AI on blockchain and significantly advanced the tech industry. The DCENT Foundation's roadmap highlights 9 focus areas for continued development: compute, platform, decentralized AI, chain fusion, privacy, platform decentralization, identity, governance, and tokenomics, digital assets, and developer experience. Now, here are the key milestones and what they include. So compute platform, again, I'm not going to really kind of read off the names. I'm just going to give you guys what they do. So we have reduces latency, enhances data handling and storage, decentralized AI, improves on-chain AI inference, AI training with GPU support. Then we have chain fusion, enhances Ethereum interaction, extends Bitcoin integration, integrates Solana. Privacy, vet keys for secure encryption. We also have platform decentralization, decentralizes boundary node operations, provides transparency for edge infrastructure. Identity, introduces verifiable credentials and attributes. Digital assets, develops the ICP wallet, creates the Orbit digital assets framework. And then we have governance, advances liquid democracy. And then developer experience, improves canister development and operations. The roadmap reflects a commitment to constant innovation and community involvement, aiming for true decentralization, blockchain connectivity, and AI trust solutions. And yes, a lot of that you could actually read over here in terms of the actual roadmap. And there is a substantial amount still to really kind of focus on. You could see some of the future updates and upgrades coming to the network. I mean, the team is seriously just killing it consistently. If you actually look at the team behind ICP in terms of DCENT, it is insane. But on top of that, let's take a look at something that I love to look at, which is TVL in the DeFi space. Right now, I don't think that I need to tell you guys that DeFi is going through a major storm. In the last month, you could just see TVL on Ethereum down 20%, Solana down 14%, and this is pretty much red throughout the whole, list here. There's some green in here, but for the most part, it's a sea of red. DeFi hurts when the market hurts. But when we take a look at this, and we look at Ethereum just for instance, right? Back in 2021, we saw over $152 billion tied to Ethereum in terms of TVL. Just recently, we ran this up to about roughly 130, like 2 billion or so. But that is just a starting point, in my opinion. I do believe that we are going to see much higher valuations tied to TVL. I wouldn't be surprised if we scratch the surface of $1 trillion. But if that's the case, then where does ICP land, right? Because recently we've been starting to see a lot of TVL growing on ICP. Recently, this did hit about roughly $108 million, which was back in April. DeFi on ICP is still very new and early, but I do assume that this is going to heat up in a very large way once we start to see the DeFi crowd coming back, once we start to see TVL bouncing back as well, and once we start to see the whole market bouncing back. Right now, in terms of ICP locked up, right, it's about roughly 9.86 million. Now, that's not the actual amount of ICP locked away in staking or anything like that. It's just TVL from dollars to ICP. But like I said, I'm expecting this to heat up in a very large way once we start to see liquidity coming back into this market, once we start to see the crowd coming back, and once we start to see TVL being utilized a little bit more. But also, in terms of core developers and commits, this is something that I've been watching for closely on a lot of other assets, including, of course, Hedera, for an example. But developers on ICP are still very significant, and so is the commits. Back in June, there was over almost 5,000 commits on ICP, over 118 developers. Just for reference, when we take a look, and I don't want to utilize Ethereum because Ethereum is a little bit substantial because there's a ton of developers on Ethereum. I want to go to Solana, right? Because if we go back to the top list here, we know that Solana is number 5. If we look at Solana and we take a quick look at the core developers and the commits, this has been in a downtrend since going all the way back to November 1st of 2021, which means there's not a lot of people actually building out on Solana. There's not a lot of commits on Solana either. Even more recently, even though we had all of the meme coin craze and stuff like that, in February, we only had 843 commits, 31 developers. In March, we had 864 commits, 33 developers. There was not much here. It's a ghost town versus ICP, which is very populated. This is why I focus on how big Solana actually is versus like ICP or even Hedera or some other, networks in the space. Because if they are building much more rapidly than the number 5 largest project, just imagine where they will head to next. Or even, looking at some of these other chains, right? Like that's the second largest chain by TVL, Solana, by the way. But if we go to like BSC, just grabbing like BSC randomly, okay? Now, I do know that for the longest time, there was a significant amount of core developers, but we're talking about 115 down to like 29. Even back in March, it was like 63. Commits, not much at all. Again, versus something like ICP. It just goes to show you how overlooked some of these networks are. When we look at, for example, ICP sitting under roughly a $4 billion market cap versus something like Solana that still has $65 billion tied to it, or even some of these other chains. It's wild to me. But outside of that, we know DeFi on ICP continues to expand rapidly. We know that the stats on it are very significant versus like Ethereum or even Solana. We could see some chains and dexes on ICP, for an example. Here we have a DAO controlled dex. This is a fully on-chain order book dex. Down here we have a swap any ICP based token, like for an example Uniswap. It's like a fork of Uniswap. And then if you actually go here to the DeFi dApps, now this is not all of them. There's a lot more, but these are just the ones that are listed under the ICP ecosystem. There's about 47 DeFi applications on here, and you can see all of them through here as you guys just kind of scroll through this. By the way, big shout out to Clever. Clever is actually a very solid project that we looked at back in 2022, I believe. But Outside of that, there's a lot of great projects here in the DeFi space on ICP, and I do think that this is only going to continue to grow once we start to see a much larger user base come back. You got to remember, developers are building, which means a lot of DeFi comes from developers building out and commits happening. These are probably also updates going through the roadmap. It's a very substantial roadmap. I do think that DeFi is going to wake up in a very large way on ICP. But outside of that, Utopia. So June 27th, Utopia. Utopia reinvents enterprise compute to solve cybersecurity challenges and address the $10 trillion cybercrime problem. Now, again, I went and summarized this for you guys, so I'm not reading the whole thing. But we have the DFINITY Foundation has launched Utopia, a new compute platform technology designed to create private serverless clouds with advanced security and resilience. Utopia enables enterprises and governments to build systems that do not rely on traditional cybersecurity measures like firewalls and anti-malware. This platform supports secure AI operations, native digital asset management, and government sovereignty. Utopia stands for Unstoppable, Tamper-Proof, Open Platform for Independent Autonomy, and addresses major IT challenges, particularly as cybercrime costs are projected to exceed $10 trillion by 2025. Utopia allows the creation of private and sovereign cloud platforms using existing compute capacity, secured by network protocol with tamper-resistant properties similar to blockchain technology, but with better efficiency and scalability. This platform can host serverless software, preventing hackers from altering functionality, accessing data, or installing ransomware, revolutionizing system and service security for enterprises and governments. We have Dominic Williams, DFINITY's founder and chief scientist, highlights Utopia's ability to address key IT issues like cybersecurity, resilience, and IT productivity. The technology allows governments to operate secure sovereign clouds on domestic hardware. Utopia simplifies IT development and administration, potentially increasing productivity by reducing complexity. And this is all based on ICP. Utopia leverages technology that has proven reliable and secure over 3 years of operation, supporting hundreds of applications and millions of users without outages or hacks. And this is a massive update because this is not only a $10 trillion opportunity to really kind of, target, but just think about how many businesses, enterprises, and all of that will be really kind of flowing over to ICP, utilizing the network through Utopia. This is a game changer. Now, also, just a few days after this was posted, we also saw a big announcement, which was UNDP partners with DFINITY Foundation to enhance financial inclusion of MSMEs. This is a big deal because not only are we seeing a partnership inked between DFINITY and also the United Nations Development Program, but this is also targeting a very crucial, ripe for disruption area, which is the micro, small, and medium enterprises globally. And this collaboration underscores a significant step towards enhancing digital trust and financial inclusion for micro, small, and medium enterprises globally. Again, we talk about Utopia, this is a perfect match for that. We actually have here this framework, the Universal Trusted Credentials, launched in collaboration with the Monetary Authority of Singapore and other strategic partners. When implemented in several countries, will not only enhance domestic access to financing for MSMEs, but also unlock access to trade financing across participating countries due to the enhanced cross-border trust in the data provided. The UTC solution aims to stimulate the adoption of digital technologies, which will include blockchain-based solutions, with the view to ultimately build a vibrant and sustainable financial ecosystem that empowers MSMEs. Again, this is very exciting, and we actually have a few quotes down here. The partnership with the DFINITY Foundation marks a pivotal moment in our efforts to advance digital inclusion and economic empowerment for MSMEs in Cambodia. And we could also see that they're harnessing the cutting-edge technology to build out a credential system. This is a digital credential system that will drive sustainable development and economic growth. And we also have another quote down here that MSMEs represent the backbone of most economies, and the UTC initiative represents a unique opportunity to bring transparency and increase inclusion with a financial system that often fails to cater to their needs. And we have, by utilizing the internet computer blockchain technology, the UTC initiative is set to benefit from over 1,000 person years of research and development and will be supported by some of the leading cryptographers and experts in the field of digital identity. So this is a very big deal. And again, it just really kind of gives you that confidence boost behind ICP if you needed it, of how big it will be. Again, focus on these connections, focus on how big ICP is becoming, focus on how much work is being put on or put in behind the network and onto the network. I'm very excited about the future. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you guys did enjoy this video, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.